Welcome to this episode of Scrapyard Travelers. I didn't get to film what I wanted to, so I'm going to show you my brand new bicycle.
Back in '79 on my BMX bike.
This bicycle is built by Dan Updike, aka Gotta Van Dan from the original Freakbike forums. Now, unfortunately, Dan has passed away, so I acquired this bicycle from his family. Very honored to have this bicycle. It's one of the very first fat tire bikes I've ever rode. Alright, now let's talk about the elephant in the room about this bicycle, aka this giant back tire. Sorry, this tire is 14 inches wide by about 33.5 inches tall. Let's compare that to a regular bicycle. A regular everyday, let's say cruiser bicycle is 2 inches wide by, gonna be a little hard to be accurate here, but about 26.5 inches tall. If I do some quick math, that tire is 12 inches wider and 7 inches taller. That's crazy. And now let's talk about this badass wheel that tire is attached to. He made this rim, he widened it himself. He just rolled that sheet and then welded it in and then spoked it himself, which I'm still kind of amazed about because, yeah, that's some measuring and figuring. So let's move to the other end of the bicycle now with the front forks. The front forks are awesome. They're super heavy, but they are the wishbone from the back of a Model A. The wishbone is the part that holds the rear end in and lets it articulate and do, suspension things. So the front end, or the front rim, is off a scooter, I believe. It's got drum brake right there. Freaking awesome, works great. Now, as far as I can tell, I think this bike is made out of exhaust pipe. The frame, I mean, because it's really big. It's really light. It's very thin wall stuff. And then we look at this curve down here. Kind of looks like an exhaust pipe curve. Manual bend or whatever. I don't know what that bar is, but it's also pretty thin. So is all this. I imagine he probably bent this all himself. It's probably wiring conduit or something. But yeah, this frame, definitely exhaust tubing, super light. This is the back brake. Yep, that's the sole of a shoe. That's the other sole. And you just kick it down and it stops you. It's on a hinge. It's got a spring on the other side. It's got the City of Lincoln Park milk license on the back of it for some reason. From 56 to 57. So this bike can sell milk, in 1956 and 1957. Now at this point, I'm sure you're asking the question, why haven't I hit the subscribe button yet? Or no, wait, I mean, how does this bike ride? Well, it rides really freaking good. The pedaling, the gearing is perfect. When Dan made this bike, he got the right combination. I'm sure it was a little trial and error. Really what it is that small crank in the front and the big giant crank arm that make this thing go. It rides really good. It takes a little bit to get used to the steering if you've never ridden a chopper before, but of course, not a big deal for me. So if you ever try to ride it, you ever see it at a show, don't be afraid to ask. I'll let anybody ride this bike. Just beware the steering. It's kind of tricky.
Sometimes a man forgets that there's a heart that beats.
Well, that's everything you need to know about that big, beautiful bike back there. And I hope you like this kind of short form content. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think. It does get a little harder for me to make videos in the winter because, snow's hitting the ground. There ain't so many events. There's some racing coming up in January I hope to make it to. Also, Autorama. Also, I got my 74 Malibu needs quarter panels. I'm going to try to do quarter panels, do some motor work this winter. Got 55 Ford that needs some work. Tons of stuff coming up. Going to probably show you a bunch more bicycles because I have tons of them that have not even made the channel yet. So it's going to be more videos like this. More car stuff. I hope to see you at the next video. See you next time.